Hello, they say to do something today and every day that frightens you, that stretches you, that grows you into who you came here to be. So that's what I'm here to do with you tonight. It's true. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, I cannot go live, it says. Why not, I wonder. I say hello tonight. I want you to know that the Canadian anthem is something that actually has 4 verses, not just the one that we're used to. It's true. The other ones too, they go and then the chorus again. You can say in between or don't and just carry on. I didn't even know about these until when I was in the hospital live back a year and a half ago, and everything changed and I got to experience growth in a new way that I never expected before. I came online, I felt like it was a map on a game board, and there were little lights, and then suddenly I was on, connected and saying, yes, I will be the pillar of strength for me. I'll take my power back from the not now moment. It's true, I'll bring it back into this moment. And now I want you to know that maybe over on Facebook it will actually work. Give me a minute, let me try to do that. I'm coming to you live. I want to share all 4 verses, not just the one you know. I think it's significant that there are 3 more than we knew, or what we were trained. We're not taught what to think, we are taught what to think, not how to is the difference. Let me read tink, 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 tink with the lyrics that I am singing. And then let me say, I want to be able to go live and come to you over on Facebook. True, it is true now. We are a go. Hello, over on Facebook, they are coming along for the journey. How are you tonight? I hope that you will comment in the comment section, because I read everyone. Oh, Facebook is coming live anytime now. Says it's done and redirecting to Facebook Live page, but it's not, so I don't know. You know, when technology keeps you waiting there in that liminal phase in between where you were and where you're going. It's just where you are and you don't want to be there, but you know you can't go back, and so you gotta keep walking forward. Even when you feel like you can't walk anymore, you just gotta say, hey, hey, let's go and play. Why not? It's true, why not? It's true, I will stand and sing, oh Canada, for you, my friends, it's true. I am wearing black and blue, simply because it's for you. No, it's not. No, it's just because this is what I chose to wear after filming 2 episodes with Michael Seegers today. I hope that you will come and check them out once I get them up, and then so tomorrow night at 7 I'll be having a parenting class for your inner child, not because I'm a parent, alas, but instead I say, no, I am 33 years with me, and then I say it's true. Let us sing. Oh. I'm going to drink some water. I want to see if anyone has said anything. No, why not? Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to hear what Emperor of the Universe Bill, Earl Conqueror of Blackwater, shared with me with this book? For he was in the Second Institute, where I got shipped when my life totally turned around, and he was there where I say it's surreal. Sci-fi experiment in the mental health system, at least on 10th floor in Hamilton downtown. Oh my God, it was the craziest thing, because when I got wheeled in, I literally experienced myself being a patient interviewing as a corrections officer. At the time, the irony of finding out the mental health is the modern day witch hunt is what I found. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I got locked out for 2.5 weeks because I wake up happy, and I don't really have bad days unless I plug into the fearful matrix that is not me, and it pulls me out of the vortex. So I say to you, it is true. I sound like Cinderella when I sing like that. It's crazy, but it's fun too. Are you ready to hear some O Canada too? If you would like a card pull, let me know. I did get a couple new decks. I have some fun with that. I do enjoy it. So if you did want one, then comment in the messages. And right now, just while it's not a thing yet, if you comment, I'll do a reading, just one pull for you. So let that be a little fun thing too. And now, O Canada. So, O Canada, our home in native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. Ooh, from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. I lost my train of thought, and sometimes that happens. But when you're alive, the show goes on. God keep our land glorious and free. All right, verse 2, 3, and 4 is really what I wanted to sing to. So I am going to read from here because I, you, we may not know the lyrics to this yet, but I want to really make the connection between our own sovereignty and this corporate land of Canada and all lands. We are global citizens, my friends. We belong to the globe. We belong to the world. Is the world round? Is the world flat? Who knows? We've been so divided. Divide and conquer, and then come in and clean up the rest. No, let us band together and be stronger and smarter than the enemy. So, O Canada, where pines and maples grow, great prairies spread, and lordly rivers flow. How dear to us thy broad domain from east to western sea, thou land to hope for all who toil, thou true north, strong and free. O Canada, beneath thy shining skies. May stalwart sons and gentle maidens rise to keep thee steadfast through the years from east to western sea. Our own beloved native land, our true north, strong and free. Emphasis on free. Ruler supreme, who hearest humble prayer, hold our dominion in thy loving care. Help us to find, O God, in thee a lasting rich reward, as waiting for the better day we ever stand on guard. True patriot love. What does it mean to have patriot love? Right now, as the states are so divided with patriots and non-patriots, and what does it all mean? The left and the right, the conservatives, the liberals, the extremes, the supporters of one party and the other. Then what I was listening to last night that was very interesting, actually, was the 10 stages of genocide, and what was explained by a cultural anthropologist who really did a lot of research into the trends and traditions of all of the genocides of history, essentially, found the 10 common characteristics of which we fit many boxes. Well, they mark us separate, where now we who do not comply with the mask then become the ones that stand out, and then we get labeled, and then what they can say is they're anti-vaxxers, or they're conspiracy theorists, or they're communists, or, well, communism is essentially what's being escorted in if we don't actually step up, let's be serious. But the technocratic takeover is essentially what's happening right now. They want to merge us with the cloud. They've already got us accustomed to it with the iCloud. Think about it. First, they get you to play with it. Then they get you to wear it. Then they get you to actually put it in you. And then these nanotubes actually come out from the nanoparticles that are inside of said experimental biological agent, which is the new name that we can call the thing that no one talks about unless they want to get banned, which who knows how long a message like this lasts, but then you don't put the 48-hour freak out kind of notice, because ultimately what good's that going to do other than just get you amped up with fear, which then turns your creative mind off. I want you to be very aware. Right now, what I'm telling you is that when I tell you scary information, as does anyone else, but right now I'm the mirror that you're looking at yourself through. Essentially, when you get triggered by the fear in the environment, I would really encourage you to ask yourself the 4 questions. Is this mine? Can I let this go? Will I let this go? If not, why not? Why am I attached to that pattern? We are pattern creatures. We seek familiarity. Even when it's uncomfortable, we like it better than the unfamiliar, potentially comfortable, but not necessarily. So we go for the one that we know is uncomfortable because at least we know that. We are very complex creatures, and simple creatures too. We want companionship, we want connection, we want safety, we want survival. Belonging is part of that connection, significance, contribution, growth. Basic fundamental motivational needs, the foundational 2 of which is certainty and variety, according to Tony Robbins as well, if you are interested in his 6 instead of Maslow's 5. The 5 foundational: survival, safety, belonging, respect, self-actualization. If you're at survival of just trying to get through this, as so many people are in the day-to-day functionings, we're so distracted we have no ability to actually look up, because then we just feel like we're going to be overwhelmed by all of the noise and everything that's coming at us, because we feel so overwhelmed because our aura is not strong. That is why on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I am reading to you the aura. Now, my desk is a mess because I am working on a few other projects and things, but this one is what we do on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we read the first few pages, and I am going to pick back up where we left off on the next one on Thursday. So if you missed last week, then go check that out, please. Would love for you to be able to catch up and then connect with me, though I am going to be taking it all and putting it into one audiobook at the very end, but it's a whole lot. And there's a lot of light codes that are written because this is by Katumi. Like, this is an ascended master that has gifted us with knowledge about who we truly are and the chakra system. This is about alignment. This is coming into knowing who and whose we truly are. Understanding the tube of light can actually keep our aura strong because the violet flame can actually transmute the energy around that. And so actually, why not? For just 5 minutes, so just until right before 10 o'clock, we'll just do some violet flame decrees. We'll take it straight till 10. We'll start at 9:55 because 55 is Archangel Michael's number anyway. It's the 5-5 of Archangel Michael, transformation. 5 being a repetitive number then becomes the pattern. So literally all that we're saying is I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. With a capital G, never a lowercase, because lowercase g is, ow, I just bit my tongue. The devil doesn't like me saying this. But literally, the small g is the devil. It's the opposite, but it's close enough that it looks like it, but it's not. So make sure you always capitalize G for God if you're comfortable with that terminology. And if you're not, just consider whatever you think would be instead. But it's 9:55, so let's go for 5 minutes. We're going to just do the violet flame decree together. And I'll hold the Merkaba violet flame colored amethyst meditation devices, tools that I have from my days in England. And really encourage you to also look into the Merkaba because Michaela Sheldon was teaching that in the class tonight that I am enrolled in. So looking forward to sharing more about all of this as it comes out. But anyway, let's get to it. So I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. And I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. And I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. And I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. Whew. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. And I am a being of violet fire, and I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. And I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. Whew. 10 o'clock. That was 5 minutes. So, as Michael explained tonight in a video that I'll soon get edited and up on YouTube. Sorry, swallowed the. Swallowed the word, you could say. But yeah, I'm gonna get a video Michael and I did from earlier today. I'll get it up as soon as I can. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, as I mentioned, I'm gonna be doing an inner child parenting class. And it's experimental, it's a pilot. So I'm going to turn it into a program, and I need some guinea pigs. So we're already being experimented on in the ultimate PSYOP, psychological operation. So I would love for you to consciously participate in one that will actually be in your interest. And that is why you are formally invited to the Peaceful Inner Warriors United experience, to the movement. It is time for us to go inward, or we will go without. And so I hope you will continue to join me and start with tomorrow so that we can come together and talk about what it means to be a responsible parent to ourselves. Not that I have the answer or am perfect by any means. I'm doing the best that I can, but I am raising myself in a way that I was not raised. I am giving myself permission to not be perfect and I am willing to actually be different. I am willing to be so outrageous as to do handstands while decreeing. Why not? I have a guitar behind me because my dad lent it to me so I could learn. And I haven't picked it up very much because I'm slightly intimidated by it. And yet I know that it'll be amazing. I just have had so much on my plate. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you have so many good things in your life that you just can't make room for that great thing that is wanting to get into your life so bad, but you just don't have room for it, maybe? I don't know. Did you know if I say, while it is a filler, according to Toastmasters, it is also NLP subliminal programming. To say, makes you think that you know what I have just said. It reaffirms it subconsciously for you. Did you know that? You know? Now you know. So you'll pay attention, please. Pay attention to how you're being manipulated, because it's happening every time somebody says that there's a shortage somewhere. It is scarcity mentality. And if they can create a scarcity mentality, then they're going to be able to get you to buy faster. Did you know that the color red is used for flash advertisement for sales? Because just like a bull has a red flag that the guy is holding out in order to kill the bull that doesn't realize there's a knife behind it or a sword, they get us to use red when they want us to act quickly. They use blue if they want you to feel they're more responsible and they're more slow to come to a decision, which makes you feel more comfortable with them. Green is the color of emerald, healing. Pink is the color of unconditional love. It's just like if we actually start understanding all of this, and I was introduced to Marie Diamond's work early with a book that is still on my shelf from high school that I found on a relatively good deal at the bookstore. And I bought it because I wanted to learn about how Feng Shui was connected to colors. And I have used it ever since. Do you have any books like that that are your constant reference material? I've got so many of those that now I'm sharing them with you. And I already read last year The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, which was new to me and took me a long time to get through, in fairness. But every time that I got there and actually read it, a couple times actually took a few months to get back on because I wanted to share it with you. And there's actually a part that is missing too, because I didn't post that, which was the reason the next one wasn't more forthcoming. But the beauty thing about that was when I finally gave myself permission to just do the next one without feeling the need to post the other one, because ultimately I'm doing it for free. And if you really want the full version, you can go, and other people have read it aloud, so you can listen to them if you really just want it. But if you want me reading it and then also adding in my little sides as I do, then you can certainly pay attention to the one that I did when I finally gave permission to myself to just carry on from where I was. It was so timely for where I had finally gotten to in the book, and then where I finished up with, not that long after, because I finally had impetus to get myself going and really wanted to return the book that was long overdue to my now friend Lanny. So I say all of that to you because then after reading The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, I turned to a classic I hope you have heard. And if you haven't, you can listen to me read it. And it is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's super short. It literally took me 2 nights. So it's like 3 hours of your time to listen to. You can exercise while you do it. I'm doing this for you and me too, because I want to be able to listen back to these things. And so oftentimes, all I really want is a nice bedtime story, and I fall asleep before I've had a chance to finish. So I just want to have pre-recorded it and be able to listen to it, listen to my own self, lull me to sleep, and to even add in some extra frequencies that can benefit you, like what Michael and I talked about in today's session about music and the frequencies underneath it. I can't wait to share it with you guys. So I'm going to get to that now. But I want to thank you for joining me live. And if you have commented on Facebook, I haven't seen it. So I would love to be able to engage with you more. But sometimes we just have to accept the fact that maybe that's not how it's meant to be, and that's okay. So, I am so in love with life, and I hope that you are too. I hope that you are bubbling over with excitement. I hope that the joy fills your heart to the brim, to the point where it just overflows. Just got your workout in too? Woohoo! Go Alicia! Pretty inspiring color. Yes, love it. Awesome. My inspiring elegance. You're complimentary. Thank you. Full of blessings. Inspiring charm. Thank you. Woo! It's fun. It is fun. It is an opportunity for us to connect too. It is an opportunity for us to understand that the message that I shared below is with a politician I want to connect with. So I have just been tuned into Michelle Rumpel Garner, and I am hoping that she'll have a conversation with me, because what is happening, she's speaking out. She's going to pay with her reputation, I bet. Everyone who does will, because the political whips in there will slap her hand for doing so, because she has just stepped out of line. And in order to keep everyone in line, you have to make sure that they have an example. That's why oftentimes abusers will actually hurt or kill a family pet in order to threaten or scare their partner into knowing what could be their fate if they actually leave and do the thing he or she doesn't want. Sorry, darling, I'm electric. But if the victim tries to leave, the pet has already been made the example of. So that's oftentimes just a strategy or a tactic. And people still leave and others don't. But ultimately, we really have to just band together. We have to know how to recognize one another. Warriors need to be able to recognize one another, which is why I keep doing these summits. I have to see whether Jackie Phoenix is going to be on Thursday, February 4th at 9 p.m. UK time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will let you know whether Jackie's going to be able to be there, but the Lawfully Organized Summit is on Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern. And Chantel and I, hopefully, are going to be getting in to do the notice to the police tomorrow, which would then give us a chance to experience what it's like to actually stand under Article 61 of the 1215 Magna Carta, which is the only law in effect because essentially it was written before a 9-year-old king tried to rewrite the Constitution and remove the People's Protection Act that the barons had put in there to say, okay, we, king, will agree to all of your demands, the other 60, but we want a clause of protection that says if you're a bastard, we can kick you out, or at least we can stand up and demand that you are held to account for the treason that you were committing, if that were ever to happen. So the next year, a 9-year-old king and his council removed that clause, and then others since then have removed other clauses and changed other clauses, all in the guise of making it better, when in truth all it was systematically removing our rights. Don't we understand this? Why isn't it obvious? It is, but at the same time it's not, if you consider how socialization happens. If you consider how indoctrination happens, and the fact that we are literally living indoctrination. There's a documentary by that name that I didn't fully watch, I don't believe, but that I had started to and then got distracted with all the other things that I turned to instead. And the thing that I say to you is that right now you have given me a lot of your time, and I appreciate that. And I celebrate you for it, by actually taking something from it and using it in your life. So I would love to know what this message means to you, what it means for you, and what you're going to do with it. And ultimately, I hope that you will love yourself enough to celebrate yourself throughout your day. That you will celebrate yourself for being willing to show up for today, to be willing to hear this message, to have the heart to actually stick around and hear some crazy person do handstands while decreeing and singing the national anthem and all the other things that have happened in the time that I have been live. All of those things are deemed crazy, and I have had friends, weren't actually friends, but people that I tried to be friends with, one of whom literally told me I was embarrassing because I didn't need liquid courage to go start the dance floor when I wanted to dance at a buck and doe that I didn't know anyone at. I just went out and I started the dance floor, and then other people were grateful that somebody else started it, and so then they came out and joined. And it's like, that's what we need right now. We just need a big dance party, a ridiculous if you actually look at the fact how much of this is actually pre-scripted. And then we think about the fact that we live in an industry or in a world where there is an industry that is using experimental injections on people, and they are not held liable in any way for the ramifications that come from said injections. What? Public liability. Oh my God. It's blowing my mind. And yet I didn't mean to go here. It just evidently needed to happen. So that's where I am today, February 1st. It is day 26 of the 33 Days to Dream a New Dream Together series that I've been writing to the people subscribed to ljeh.ca. And I hope that if you are not already, that you will now. And I would appreciate if you would share this message with at least one friend that could benefit from hearing something in today. And I would also encourage you to use today's as just permission to be willing to actually say it's okay to not be perfect. And if you forget the words, just carry on and just take the cues around you and go. Let that be okay. And sometimes when we do it, it's exactly when it was supposed to happen. So understand, you are either a pawn, bishop, king, queen, castle, or a horse. We're characters in this play that is a giant chess game. That's why we see it so often now. Or at least I do. My reticular activating system is attuned to it. Do you know what that is? Maxwell Maltz talks about it in Psychocybernetics. And basically your RAS, your reticular activating system, is when your eyes are attuned to a certain object or thing. A thing, a noun, people, person, or thing. It's like as soon as that noun comes into view, or that thing comes into view, or into mind, it's just like we can trace it anywhere. It's like we're attuned to that, like radar. It's like whatever car you drive, you're likely to see most of those. Or if you like a certain car, like I always look for the rogue ones because I feel like I am a rogue one. And so whenever I'm driving behind a rogue, the car type, it's like, woo, yeah, there, validation. And so that's my truth. But the point is that I like rogues, and therefore I see them everywhere because my reticular activating system is attuned to rogues. So if you happen to be a rogue person, not a vehicle, but if you were a vehicle and could reach out to me, then AI has really gone further than I thought. But I'm just kidding. That would be a branding issue, not a technology issue. They already have that technology, as we know, through Tesla and whatnot, right? So that is my rant for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you'll share. I do appreciate it. And if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, 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 please go and do that and get your friends to do it too. And if you know young people, ultimately, they are the ones who I want to introduce to the music that we are putting together through the Mystic Music Summit. They're happening every 2 weeks. Next one is February 9th, so mark your calendar. It's 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on that, what we're asking is for artists to gather, connect, to get to know each other, learn about frequencies and important things around music. I'm going to share some of the clip from Michael today. And ultimately, we're going to do some conscious teaching to imbue the artists with a changed energetic signature in order to be able to pen the songs. And then we're going to feature those songs in a compilation album that we are doing as part of the first Peaceful Inner Warriors United in Harmony CD. So I'm really looking forward to partnering with so many amazing artists. We've already connected with so many amazing people in the 3 that we've done so far in terms of summits, and look forward to hopefully seeing you on the next one on February 9th. And if you tuned into the Sacred Self-Compassion service on Sunday yesterday, then you would have heard Susie Corey and her song Outlaw. And Susie was actually one of the artists that was on the summit last time and the others before that too. And she also is going to be on our CD that we are putting together. So there's a plug for Susie and fans of hers to say, hey, we got exciting things happening, and we've got key players connecting, and you're one of them because you're watching me. And why else would we be connected other than to say that you are more significant than you thought, and that Marianne Williamson's poem, Our Deepest Fear, is not that we are inadequate. It is that we are deepest. It is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, talented, gorgeous, and fabulous? Well, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so others won't feel insecure around you. When you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. So please be willing to do it. And I hope that my example helps you be as strong as is required without your needing me to be here to do it for yourself. Because ultimately, I can only go to here, and you've got to go the rest. Anyone can only ever go here. So in those moments, I just want to say this too as the final note. In those moments when you're going through the dark night of the ego, when the caterpillar you is dying and you then have to step into the dark light fight of the soul, which is the next stage before the phoenix process of incinerating yourself and then being reborn from the ashes in order to integrate all of the experiences that you just went through to embody a new energetic signature to then contribute the wisdom that you now actually embody. Now you own it. It's yours. You've got a story you can tell without needing to reference anyone else. That whole process, you're going to feel alone during it, I bet. I bet you there's going to be moments when you are in that innermost cave and you feel like everyone has turned their backs on you and no one is there. No one picks up when you call. No one makes eye contact in the moment that you're hungry for it. No one. Well, I hope that's not the case. I hope when you're feeling that way that you keep trying. But I want you to know that even when you connect with someone, they can only go this far with you. You are the only one that can go. I am the only one that can go for myself. We are the only ones that can go for ourselves into the innermost cave of our own heart center, where the silver cord of our I am that I am presence, above the Christ consciousness above that, in the sacred secret chamber of the heart there, in that spot. It is only there where we can truly come home to ourselves. And when we do it, we can only do it alone because it is only our home. No one can be home for us. It's us in our own selves, our cells, our cells that are either filled with faith or filled with fear. And you get to choose. So know that you're going to be terrified to be empowered. It's the scariest thing for the ego. It's a small death. So be gentle with yourself because the ego is fully vested in your survival because it loves you more than anything else. So consider it like the jealous stepmother, or not the stepmother, the jealous mother, or the jealous grandmother, or the jealous partner that just, it would more so be one that you belong to. So your father or your grandfather, the family, the tribe that you were born into that socialized you until a certain time, unless you had other origin stories, of which case that was your soul's journey. But the point is, whoever you gave power to before, whenever we look to them for approval, ultimately we have no control over that. So we really need to bring it back. We need to stop saying an authority figure outside of ourselves knows better than we are or do just because they've got a lot of medical training or legal training, or they've read a lot of books and done a lot of tests and assignments, and their peers have reviewed them and said that they are worthy because they have memorized the material that is in there, which is not to disrespect anyone in any of these occupations or industries, but it is to say, like, the medical industry was founded at the beginning of the 19th century, if that's when 1900-ish was. Do you know the Rockefellers founded it? It's all connected when you actually connect the dots, and that is why it's so easy to go down all the rabbit holes that take us out of our home center of peace. So we gotta bring it back. We gotta slow it down. We gotta bring ourselves home now. It's 10:23 where I am, so I'm going to say good night. I wish you adieu. This is my Cinderella Snow White ending. Have a good night. Toodaloo. Thank you for tuning in.